Okay, so Liam, and it's Liam Edwards, is that right?
Yeah.
And how long have you been at the Jim Edwards pub and restaurant in Kinsale, Liam?
Well, it's in its 40th year. It was 40 years last year in business, so
Okay,
it's the longest running establishment in Kinsale.
it is the longest
Oh,
running
I'm the
establishment.
one owner.
Oh, that's fantastic! Congratulations on that. Um, now I'm interested in finding out if, so you've been in the business so long that you would have witnessed a difference in numbers. Have you seen things change in the last 10 years?
Basically, you've seen just the whole demise of the drinking trade in the pubs, where we might be slightly different, where we're very concentrated on food, but even that we would see a total demise in it, like where people who would have a couple of drinks before their meal now just come and have their meal. They might have a glass of wine where the bottle of wine is gone. They just have their glasses of wine. The Irish coffee business is gone, that kind of way. So, and then it's just the late night where the old days where the old man used to come out for a couple of pints late at night, that business is just completely gone.
Okay.
Completely. Before we used to have kind of a 10 o'clock, a night trade at 10 o'clock where all these old gentlemen used to come in and have a pint and a drop. They all passed away and nobody ever came. That side of the drink is just totally gone.
So the locals that used to come in and frequent.
Yeah, our local trades I used to go. Like, I mean, there is still local bars doing okay, but it's just none are doing the same volume as they used to.
And what do you think, Liam, has contributed to the demise of that trade?
I suppose it would vary from different age levels. I mean, a lot of it would be the drinking at home is a big factor as well. A lot of people are just kind of just say on a night out. But what they used to do before, they'd always meet in a pub. Now people would go to meet in your house, and you'd have, I suppose, what is a bit of a problem at the moment is these mass supermarkets selling the drink so cheap.
Yeah.
So they are watching their money, So they're getting a nice bottle of wine, they're getting a nice bottle of Chablis at home, they're meeting their friends at home,
Yeah.
and they're coming out a bit later, or else the younger generation are getting their alcohol pops at home, and then coming out. Like I was talking to nightclub owners now, they're saying like the average spend for a customer is about €15 in the nightclub.
Wow.
In other words, they're coming out so late. They've had their drink at home, and they're just going out to socialise now, really. Like, that's kind of the way. I think that's a big factor, the kind of the drinking at home, and then I suppose with the elderly, with the plus 50s who are coming out during the week who don't come out anymore, it's just a drink driving.
Yeah.
Just basically can't have a pint and they can't get into their car and drive home. So that's kind of the midweek kind of drinking has been killed by that. I wouldn't say killed by it, but I think it's. I mean, I obviously would agree with the drink driving laws, to an extent, but I just do feel that it has had a big factor in killing off the bar trade, especially during the week, where you wouldn't be able to get a designated driver. Some people in the weekends where they're going out with threes or fours, maybe going out for a meal, or one of them decides not to drink. But during the week, fellow wants a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
He just has to stay at home, basically.
Yeah, and in a town now like Kinsale, Liam, that is known for being such a great tourist town, have you seen pubs close their doors in the last few years due to?
Oh yeah, I mean, outside my window, one of the biggest local bars has just closed before Christmas. So I would say like 4 or 5 of the local bars have definitely closed. I'd say in the last 4 or 5 years, they're definitely closed down. I'm calling local bars now,
Yeah.
Kind of drinking bars, they've just closed down.
Okay, so but the ones that seem to have a fighting chance are the ones that serve food and are restaurants and have maybe some accommodations.
Yeah, well, that's kind of from ourselves personally. That's the kind of angle we made a decision before the recession came that we would concentrate a lot on food, but they're the ones with a fighting chance. I think in every town there may be, like in every town of Kinsale size, there is probably enough room for about 3 or 4 drinking bars.
Yes.
Where they would just concentrate on the drink, but that's going back to maybe like 10 years ago. There would have been 10, 12 of these bars, but no, in a town of Kinsale size. But now I think there's only room for about 3 or 4 from
Yeah. Now somebody did tell me that a government official came out and said that he was going to deliberately, change the drinking culture in Ireland. And I guess that they were trying to enforce, and maybe successfully have done so, new laws and very strict laws. Do you think that has contributed to the demise of these certain pubs?
Yeah, well, I mean, especially the country pubs, the location of country pubs is definitely, that is the demise of it. I mean, I suppose the drink driving laws are a bit of a catch-22 situation. One, they're trying to do very good, and another, and like it's hard for publicans to stand up and say, look, you can't say we can't get into it. But I think a lot of these statistics about the drink driving, they're misinterpreted, like, you know.
Yeah.
They'll think the fellow who comes and has 2 or 3 pints and drives home is less likely to cause an accident than the young fellas driving around at 4 or 5 in the morning, you know, that kind of way, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, how do you kind of balance that out? I don't think it's possible, you know.
Yeah.
You can't have one law for another law for some people, you know. But
Yeah.
I would say that the government are still fighting our corner in another way, where they're trying to improvise a kind of this cheap drink, this cheap alcohol that's been given out. They're trying to make a kind of a price structure on that, so that will help. That will help us a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely, you know.
Are they trying to unify the prices of the alcohol that's being sold?
Yeah, basically what, like, I mean, I can honestly say that supermarkets and large chain places would be selling drink at very little margin just to get people in their door. And I just think they're using drink as a bait, which to get them in the door, which shouldn't be. Alcohol shouldn't be used as a bait because of its dangers, obviously, you know.
Yeah.
And then people are saying, like, look, I can get 20 bottles of beer in a supermarket and the price of it is €20, and then you come into a bar and it's €4 a bottle, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think the comparisons are then a bit unfair then on the publican who has got these massive overheads to deal with, and these massive rates and these massive.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Now, have you seen a lot of immigration in Kinsale, and has that affected your business in the
You
offbeat?
would. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of the younger clientele, like that we had throughout the years, you know, you've just kind of seen them. They're just not coming in anymore, and you're just wondering to yourself, are they gone, or they've lost their jobs? They're just not going out. So, and I know personally myself, I have a lot of friends who are gone. They're just gone.
Yeah.
They're gone to where. They're not going to Australia for a lifestyle change, as one politician said. They're going to Australia for work and for money and to survive and hopefully save a bit, like, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So you do see it. I mean, you do see it. Like, it is everywhere, you know.
No, I have seen on the web here that some pubs are just open for the high peak season. Is that one strategy that you see pubs using?
Yeah, I mean, you'd see more probably in the kind of pub bar trade, you know, where it's not that expensive just to have one man behind the bar and just hope for the best, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
But they're not making money, you know, so they do. I'd say, and can say a lot of the pubs do open all year round. You find with the restaurants, which inadvertently is the drink trade as well, that they all they're closed all throughout the winter because they can't take a chance with the volume of chefs they would have to bring in. You know, but I don't think the pubs around this area like are open, but they're just curtailing their hours.
Yeah.
Let's say, you know, where the pub used to open at 10:30 in the morning. By law, they don't open out till 4 or 5, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you could drive through a town now and just say, on your way to Dublin, if you just veered off and you drove through a town, I'd say there could be only 1 or 2 pubs open in a large town.
Wow.
During the week. During the day as well, you know what I mean? They'd all start opening about 5 or 6 because there's no trade there during the day anymore, like, you know.
Have you yourself, Liam, have you seen a difference in the volume of tourists coming over the last 3 to 5 years?
To be quite honest, I think about 3 years ago the volume was down, you know.
Yeah.
What we find now is, with the Irish tourists and with the foreign tourists as well, is that we're getting the people in.
Yeah.
They're spending less.
Yes.
So we're working as hard, but we're just not making the same amount of money, if you know what I mean.
I do, yeah.
But they're just spending less, like. So, I mean, I think the biggest battle is to get them in your door, and after that, look, if they're going to spend less, they're going to spend less. You can't do anything really about that. So, I mean, you would find, like that again, like if somebody's going out for a night out, they don't start the night out at 7 o'clock where they used before and have a couple of drinks. They seem to they go out a bit later, or there's always one person who's not drinking, that's spending less, you know, or.
Yeah.
No, they're just basically spending less, you know.
Yeah, they're watching their pennies.
But the volume of tourism in Kinsale is good, you know. It is good, you know.
Well, it always has been a very nice tourist town, so hopefully that'll definitely help the bar and restaurant trade there. I hope it does anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Liam, thank you very, very much for taking my call. And as soon as this goes into the magazine, I'll actually send yourself and Ken Murphy on a photocopy of the article itself. All right?
Okay, no bother at all.
And maybe it'll do a bit of trade for you come the summer.
Exactly. It all helps.
Okay. Again, thanks for taking the call. And
thanks very much.
Thank you now. Bye-bye.